You ask, we answer. It's time for some viewer mail. Got an email from Robert the other day, and he writes, do you guys pre-treat your parking lots prior to snow events? Does this help release the snow when you are plowing? We are getting our first winter storm tonight, 4 to 8 inches. I do appreciate all of your honest answers to my questions. Well, that's a great question, Robert. I really appreciate you writing in. In regards to the pre-treatment of our parking lots, it's generally something, depending on the conditions, really, is what it boils down to. If it is going to be a snow event where it's going to be preceded by some possible rain and freezing rain, maybe some sleet, a mixture of snow and sleet and freezing rain, if you're getting a mixture of some freezing conditions first, we have found that it does help and it is beneficial to pre-treat your lots with a calcium chloride or a sodium chloride before the event happens, so that way you get that layer of preventative, ice control down, to where then when you do get the frozen precip, it is less likely to freeze and bond to the ice, to where then if you do get snow on top of that, since your lower base level is already kind of loose, you're generally going to have an easier time to plow your lots. If it's just a snow-only event, we don't generally like to pre-treat our lots because we find it's a lot better off to scrape those lots clean first, get all the snow off of them, and then follow it up with an ice control treatment, whether you're using sodium chloride, calcium chloride, or whatever you may be using. So really, like I said, it boils down to what type of storm event you have coming in. If you have some frozen precip that's going to come in and precede your snowfall, you might want to go ahead and think about pre-treating your lots first. It may make it generally easy for you to scrape those lots once the snow event is over. But again, that was a great question, Robert. I appreciate you writing in. Hopefully that answers your question. Hopefully that will help you figure out, when it comes to a snow event in your area, do you want to pre-treat or do you not want to? That was a great question. If there's any other snow troopers out there that have any other questions, please feel free to write us at stewcare@gmail.com. We'll take the time to read your question, answer your question, and maybe your question, like Robert's, will be featured on our next segment of Viewer Mail. Keep putting those blades of snowflakes. Well, it's just a little bit before midnight. Heading out to meet up with the rest of the snow troopers. Start putting the blades of snowflakes. Had a little Alberta clipper come through. Dropped a couple inches out on us, so gonna go out there and get our lots clear. So here we are at the shop. Got Wild Bill with me. As most of you lawn dogs know, every winter when we're not out putting the blades of snowflakes, we like to bring our grasshoppers in here one at a time, and short of pulling the engine out of the frame, we pretty much go over them with a fine-tooth comb, clean them up, and replace any of the wearable items, any of the things that may have worn out over a season or two. Right now what we got in here is we've got our 2007 Grasshopper. It's a 722 D2. Happens to be our oldest one. A little over 4,000 hours on it. So we got it in the shop. Been in here for a few weeks in between snow showers, and we're just kind of got the parts ordered the other day. Had a big open house at our parts distributor, so we were able to get a nice sale on some of the parts that we needed to put on this Grasshopper. So we're starting to work on that today. Take a couple days worth here and we'll get it all put back together, and this will be the last one that we got work on this season. And we've got them all ready, stored away in the shop for the rest of the winter until it's time for spring to come out and start putting the blades of grass. But I'm going to step out of the way, and I'll let Wild Bill give you guys a little bit of a rundown on what exactly they've been doing on this Grasshopper.
How you doing? We are doing a pretty much tear down, clean up on it. And when we noticed that the water pump is going out on it, so we're replacing the water pump. If you know, anybody knows anything about mechanics, if you replace the water pump, you should replace the thermostat as well. And what is this? The throttling unit, I think is what this is. This was replaced, for it was leaking oil. So it's just basically when it gets so many hours on them to do prep maintenance on it, because so it doesn't break down in the field and or ruin the motor on the machine. So, and this one being the oldest unit, it's going to take the most work. Not too clogged. Now with the radiator and the shroud removed, we can get to the four fan bolts on the front of the water pump. And it'll also give us easier access to replace the alternator belt, which is driven by the shaft that turns the water pump and everything.
You want any permit checks for that?
No. Shouldn't need it with this gasket.
Okay.
Nice metal gasket. Permatex on it, that probably would make it leak. With our luck.
Even famous Serta mattresses. Then get an instant taste discount or keep your refund and buy interest-free till 2020. You gotta love it. It's your
The muffler bearing.
The thrush muffler bearing?
Yes.
Definitely got to replace those. What about the headlight fluid? Did you check that yet?
Yeah, it was good. Didn't
What's
even have to
what's
change
the Bill? What's the other thing you called the
Cadillac converter.
the cardboard meter?
Cardboard meter.
Yeah.
Cadillac converter.
But most of them now are fuel ejected. The old ones have the cardboard meters on them, and then you have the flugel valve. You can't forget that.
Oh no, that's a Fragistat.
We work on all makes and models and have extended hours till 9 p.m.
Yep. Okay. Let me get it. Sideways.
Just pull that, make sure that hose, the upper hose is out of my way, and I'll guide it down in there.
Oh, I can turn
Let
the
go of
fan
it,
as you
use
go.
your hand there. There you go.
On the mower here, the racing mower, and what we've done is we've already cut the reinforcing rods for the frame, a 1 inch or half-inch stock, and we're getting everything in position. We're getting ready to take the table down to the other end to the welder and start laying these in, just doing one side at a time. You can see where we've got it clamped in. So that's where we're at on this thing. So it's just a matter of moving it down there and slapping some weld on it.
What was he doing back there, Bill?
Playing with little Willie.
Ready?
Yep. Here to here.
Yeah, oh yeah. Still got to tie that in. Just get them all assembled.
Cool.